Hey friends, welcome to Moxie Gardens. I'm Mike Toomey, and today I want to take a stroll through the bare bones of the garden. We still have a little bit of snow, a little bit of ice. However, we're supposed to be somewhere roughly around the 60-degree mark today, which is going to be really nice to melt off some of this snow. We had a snowstorm of 13 to 17 inches almost a month ago. Not sure of the date, but almost a month ago, and it's still lingering around. So we've had some warmer temps in the last couple days, but then we got into the negative temperatures. Snow just really stuck around, so it's annoying. So you know how it goes. We're gonna do some things through the garden that get me excited when it gets around 60 degrees. However, we do have to be a little bit cautious. I won't get out there and start doing too much. I'll probably do a lot of things when it comes to the overall structures and hardscape, but I'm not going to touch anything in the borders yet. I don't typically pull back the leaves or anything. There's a lot of critters and critter larvae and eggs in there, so I'm going to leave that stay put. And if you're new to gardening, do your research. I know some of us, we get that 60-degree temperature and we want to start pulling everything back, and we still got a ways to go. I keep a garden journal. I don't know who I learned that from, but I keep a journal of everything we've got going on in our little garden village here. I think it's really turning out to be a garden village. Didn't know where we were going, and I like to build and assemble and put things together and then maximize different trees and plants and whatnot. But I keep this garden journal, and it allows me to keep track of every year that we do stuff, and there's a pattern with the weather, and some days might be off a little bit more than others, but honestly, that garden journal's really helped me set back the information that I need going forward each year. I typically start to get into the garden beds right around spring break. So spring break in ours are in Kansas here, Eastern Kansas, Zone 6A. We typically have spring break right around middle of March, first week of March. So our children are all grown up, but that really sets the tone for me whenever I knew we were taking our kids on vacation for spring break, or if my daughter teaches, and so when she tells me the kids are going to, or she gets her week off and whatnot, that kind of sets the tone for me, and I keep in my journal when that's going on. So that's when I really start to pull back different layers in the garden. But I typically, you can see I've got the garden pathways cleared off and ready to go. Make a lap through the garden daily, so it gives me some type of involvement in the garden. So kind of long-winded just to say I don't pull back anything in the garden. So these planters here, saucers, I posted this 2 years ago, and then again last year, and everybody asked where I got those, and I gave the link below, but it was overstock.com, and then a lot of people said the link is no longer available, so they must have sold out. But they are really nice saucers. So planters is what I use them for. There are 2 holes pre-drilled in the bottom, and we planted these up the last 2 years with several things. So last year I had potato vines and coleus in there, and then I had enough potato vine for about 6 counties, and it really kind of cascaded over and came into this piece of the garden. And I've got it posted on my Instagram over the years, so you can or over several months during this cold winter months I just posted it on there, so you feel free to hop on my Instagram if you'd like to. That's Moxie_gardens. Actually, a side note, my Instagram channel had a couple videos go viral, I guess you would say, and so one is I got a little over 2 million views, and it's still humming, and another one's getting close to 1 million views. So it's kind of, if you don't have Instagram and you wanted to see, or if you do have Instagram, pardon me, and you want to see how the garden was when we first got it, and how we got to this part with there was no trees and no fencing, anything like that. So feel free to drop on there. It gives you kind of an indication of how this garden, how we purchased it from nothing and how we got to this part. But anyways, long-winded. Feel free though to jump on my Instagram and follow me on there. That's Moxie_gardens. Super excited. Just went over 20,000 followers on that. So good deal there, and this channel's starting to grow a little bit more. I would be probably a little bit more successful if I posted a lot more, but I don't post nearly as often as I would like. Anyway, we're gonna go around the corner here. The sun is starting to come over this morning, and it's gonna be right behind me, so I'll be in the video a little bit. But if you're new to the channel, we got this little garden village that we're putting together here. I'm gonna go with the garden village. It never meant to be like that, but that's where we're at today. So I'm gonna go with garden village. And so a lot of these props that I have up, or dwellings, serve a purpose, but also like this piece, I've got honeysuckle behind it, and because of all the trees behind me, the shadow line, the heavy shade got into about right there, so the plant was really not impressive and died out at the bottom as the seasons continued and the trees matured. So I decided, let's just pop this in here. And so this is like a little hobbit door, and you can see the handle, and it's little owner's fence in front, and there's some barbed wire. I know some folks have said I would never put barbed wire in a garden. Nobody's actually jumping back there and doing anything. So it's out of harm's way, out of reach of anybody that's, unless you're a touchy-feely type person, but I guess it just hasn't hurt anybody. So it's there. I'm thinking about putting up some vines through here this season. We'll see how it matures, but we'll do something fun right through here. And then there's little stepping stones. Like I said, I haven't pulled back the leaves for all the little critters and larvae, so I'm gonna leave that for right now. But there are stepping stones to look like somebody walks in there. Again, I'll be in the shadow lines here for a second. We'll come around here, and the reason why I wanted to share the garden right now is because obviously haven't got to get out, but I love the idea of all the pulling back all the layers, and you can really see what a garden looks like at this standpoint versus what it's going to look like when everything is flush and blooming and leafed out. So I think it adds another element. So if you're looking for winter interest, maybe there will be some positives here in the garden that you can take to yours. Right here we've got our little water feature. Underneath there is a hub for water, so there's that runs during the summer, so that'll be fun when I get to turn that on. Got the gazing balls right there. I thought I was going to take them inside, and I never actually did. First time I've ever owned gazing balls, never really have. We've got the chicken coop here. We talked about getting chickens within the next 30 days or so, or even sooner. So that will be coming up. I did post on Instagram people's idea of chickens and what they've had and their experiences, and so we've got a lot of feedback. So we are still determining what we want. We still do have to put another layer of cloth down there to keep from a lot of any of those predators that might want to come into the garden. We don't have much around here, but you never know until you've brought in some livestock. So who knows? But you can see this is its second year, going to be its second year in existence here. Our little coop talked about not being able to own roosters, so how fitting will it be that this rooster will get to watch over the flock this season. That's the only resemblance of a rooster I'll be able to have. Of course, we've got vines, and you can see they're going to grow over there. That is cookies and cream, or some type of honeysuckle. I can't really remember the name, but I can dig that up, but not for this video. So you can imagine it's going to soften this whole area. And then again, we repeat a lot of the circular hardscape pieces in the garden. That matches our moon gate. I thought it would be great to kind of just come out here and look at the overall garden. The grass was in snow until like probably Thursday or Friday, and it finally melted off. But so I just went out here with the leaf blower and blew off the grass, keep all the leaves and stuff off the grass. That way the sun can still work with that ground right there, and I don't have any bald spots come in the grass come spring. I got my funny little shed right here. We'll be planting up some type of rose bush or something. I can't wait. Wisteria. Haven't decided yet. Then we've got a whole bunch of iris. We just got a new puppy. We got a Frenchie, and she doesn't go up the stairs, but because she's only about 3 months old, but she did find a way to jump up here and start pulling Iris out of the bed. So I've got me a little helper this spring. It'll be fun to share her with you guys. Her name is Hey Hey, just like the chicken off of Moana. So my wife chose that. I thought it was cute. I did have the chimenea running this morning. There's nothing better than the smell of either food, barbecue grills, or smoke coming through the garden when I'm out here working. I did just post on Instagram the bare bones of the garden, so another piece to share with you folks. I like this opening space, so there's a lot of chaos on the outside, and you kind of get in behind the trees and whatnot, and you can really lose yourself out there, and then you come to this opening. I think it gives a softening to everything that we're doing here. So a lot of fun, a lot of whimsy, I suppose. But our little village here is coming across quite nicely. So you can see right back here, I get asked about those trees every post and every video. Those are Taylor junipers, and they've added a great deal of interest to the garden this season. Plus all the little birds. I keep a bird feeder out during the winter time, and all the little birds, this is a good place to for them to get in and out of the elements, as well as away from predators. So we've got several different evergreens back here that allow them the comfort and the safety to stay in the garden. And so the feeder is right here. That comes out during the summer months when more food is not so scarce and they can find their way through life. So that will pop up, and then we'll put coleus and whatnot through there. But you can see the garden's really ready to just take off, and I'm excited to do some new things. I'm pulling a lot of the perennials that are in there. I want to go with some type of maybe I don't know. I've been thinking of hydrangeas, a hydrangea that stays around 3 feet, and I'm wanting to put a little wooden fence post back here with just some rails, just a lower. Again, I'm going to stay on the same scale as these dwellings here. We're going to keep it low to give it that country feel, or that nostalgia of a little village. So we're going to continue to do that. So I'm thinking I'll do something like that right through here. So there will be, I'll have that same height. It won't be so much chaos. And then the salvia, what else do I got? I got a lot of things in there that once they bloom, then you gotta flush them back and hope that they get going. Well, then I get just random folks that want to tour the garden. And so for me, being a perfectionist, I would assume I'm a perfectionist, somebody who has anxiety of sharing the garden when it doesn't look good. How about that? And so if I've got things that I know look good, and they're the first time gardeners or first time coming through the garden, I want it to be very inspirational. So even those minute opportunities that I miss out on sharing when I'm doing a video or sharing the garden kind of drives me nuts. So I will be putting something in there that I feel really comfortable with. So those hydrangeas kind of come to life pretty early in spring and give me some color there. And then of course, then I have all the blooming part of the season, and then the winter interest. Right here we have one of my favorite, the filbert, contorted filbert. I don't know why it took so long to get that out, but I just love its gnarly look. And we are able to take pieces off of this and add into planters. Kind of a wonky looking thing, but it's a lot of fun. You really don't see its full opportunity and the interest during the summer months as it's all leafed out. And the Japanese beetles do kind of eat it up. So if you're still thinking that you might end up putting this in the garden, just based off of what you're seeing here, do your research. But if you have Japanese beetles that appear in the garden, do know you'll have to give it a little bit of more care, because those Japanese beetles find their way on there and really want to eat up what we got going on here. So a lot of folks take, this is an Annabelle hydrangea. A lot of folks will cut those back so the snow doesn't weigh those down. It's never really affected me. So if it ever does in the future, I will cut those back, the blooms off, going into winter, but it's never affected me, so to each their own, I suppose. But we are just clicking on all cylinders here. I am so excited. I did see we have some daffodils and petunias. Here I go. I'm thinking forward, but we have daffodils and tulips that are starting to poke their nose out of the soil, so that'll be fun. We will have some life here before too long. Well, I think overall the garden is really taking shape. I just kind of wanted to get back familiar with everybody. Haven't put out a video for about a month, and so I thought, well, what better time than when there's 60-degree weather. So that is the bare bones of our garden today. I hope you kind of can get a sense that season's right around the corner, and if you're interested in following us, hit that like, that share, follow us along, go to my Instagram. I know I've talked about it endlessly on this video, but feel free to jump in on our Instagram. You'll see posts what we do during the summer, and I started to do shorts. I've never done a short before on YouTube videos, so we started to do the shorts on there, and that's coming along well. So anyways, hoping to reach 20,000 followers on this channel here soon. So wish me luck on that. We will. That's me tapping on the moon ring. Sorry about that. Anyways, I'm fidgety, so we will talk to you guys soon. I'm gonna go get my hands dirty. Bye-bye now.